Hi there.
Radio 2 with another edition of Pick of the Puffs.
This is a little radio that I keep in my workshop, and it takes a tape, a cassette tape in there, and a CD in the top, but there's a little switch just packed up yesterday, so I'm not quite sure what I'm going to find, and that selects whether it's the tape, the radio, or the CD. It's playing on the radio part, but it won't select. So I just thought I'd open it up and see what I can find. When I'm working on a radio like this is a plastic case that's been painted. I like to work on a cushion, or the radio on a cushion, or a soft surface, because if you get a little bit of grit on the bench or a little iron filing between the bench and the radio, you turn the radio upside down, you'll scratch this, and of course once you've scratched it, that's it, it's scratched forever. You can't really recover from damage on a surface like this. Anyway, I've got the radio open, and a little bit different to what I was expecting. That's always nice. What I was anticipating is a little slide switch like this, mounted on a printed circuit board underneath the casing of the radio there. This is a 2-position switch, and I was anticipating a little 3-position switch like this, but this is what I found. Well, the switch is there, but instead of being immediately underneath the actuator, which is up here, the switch is buried right down there. That's can give you some idea. That's the length of my finger below the gubbins. So I don't know if I can tip this and get the camera in, but the mechanism is some broken plastic there that we can see, and that's a little bit of material. That's the case material, and then that's the mechanism that's pivoted somewhere here, I guess, and the other end of that down below operates a switch, and this bit has become disconnected, so it looks as though I've got to now get into the bowels of this thing to open that up and see what's happening the other side. This is the side where the switch is broken, and this is the little device that gets actuated, and you can probably see there's a bit of a witness there of where a little nipple stuck out. This is the switch on the other side, and this is the actuator of its switch there, and you can see the little nipple that sticks out there. So all I need to do is make something that will allow this part of the switch actuator to move that. So I think I'll probably just drill a little hole and tap a very small bolt into there. It's not the sort of thing that's got a lot of force on it. It looks as though it may have had something dropped on it and clobbered it from above. I haven't found the little bit that's gone missing, but I'm not too bothered about that. I'm sure I shall shake it out in a minute or two. There's a tiny little bit of plastic that's broken off this actuator here, and what that does is it retains the actuator in the cabinet, so it sort of obviously goes in with a click either side. and I'm not going to try and repair that. I don't know if I could write to the people that make this radio and get a spare part, but I'm not setting out to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bolt through that place where the little nipple has gone, and that little bolt is just too large for this actuator, or the slot in your actuator. And what I'm going to do, once it's on, I'm going to press it on, and that will form its own gripping mechanism. So it'll go on and it'll lock into place, and that will in itself retain the actuator. At least that's the theory. So that's what I'm planning to do there, and as it's only for my own use, that'll be fine. I've drilled a hole in that bit of plastic now, and what I'm going to do in fact is I'm going to put a little half nut on there, as there's a bit of clearance between this edge of the plastic and where the switch goes on, or sorry, where the switch actuator goes on. So I'm just going to put a little half nut there. A half nut, if you're not familiar with it, is a nut that's simply half the thickness of a full nut. I couldn't find one in my box, so I've simply filed one down, and that little nut is going to lock onto what, 2.5, 3 threads. That's perfectly adequate for what I want. And what I will do is I'll put a little sort of thread locking agent on it. It looks a bit like nail varnish, but it's just a locking, thread locking solution. This stuff is actually called tamper evidence seal, but it does the same thing. So I'm sure it's just nail varnish really, but probably cheaper than nail varnish. But it smells delicious. Okay, there's the actuator back in place, and that's its 3 positions. I can't pull that out. It clicked onto that little bolt. The fork clicked onto the bolt exactly as I anticipated, which is nice. So that looks okay. I'll just button it up and give it a try. For the record, the radio is a Ferguson RCD 9234, and that little repair took about 6 minutes. It took a lot longer because of making the video, of course, but the alternative is to have a radio that doesn't work properly, or you throw it away. So it's 6 minutes. It's not a world-class repair, but at least I'm happy with it. Okay, so that's the radio and different bands. And then the CD player, when it'll wake up and tell us down here when it's found the CD. And then the tape. Okay, so there you go, for the sake of a few minutes work. Hope you found that interesting. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.